Back once again for the Renegade Master. This is your Tsaastrology Gemini na si Bern.
And this is your astrologer na Scorpio na si Nikki.
This is your astrologer na Virgo na si VP.
And we are your astrologer Sagittarius Jim and Saab. Totally butchered that. I'm so sorry.
That's perfect. And welcome to
Tsaastrology, the podcast.
And welcome to the show where we talk about anything and everything under the sun, moon, and stars. So whether you're a Gemini or a Scorpio or a Sagittarius, we'll talk about you and your sign when the time comes. Kung kailan yon, ang universe lang ang nakakaalam. But today, tonight, this afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this, ganyan, may something special ulit. Diba?
Lagi naman may something special, kunyari.
Oo. Kasing special ko. But this time naman, sila ang bumisita sa ating side of the street. Please welcome Jim and Saab.
Yes!
Yay!
Hi guys.
We
Hello.
super enjoyed your guesting on our podcast and we are looking forward to tonight's show.
Ayan. Oh my God, this is gonna be exciting. Kasi para tayo nasa malibag episode. So, yeah. But yeah, by the way, before we get into the letter, I would like to congratulate you guys for your 3rd anniversary
Yay!
of the podcast. Kailangan mo
Yes,
yung 3
we
years
old. We are
na,
old.
no?
Yes.
We saw nga.
Shonda rhyme.
Pero ano, no? Parang 3 years is parang kailan lang siya. And the same time,
that's
parang,
true. That is true.
diba?
Yeah,
The same time, parang ang tagal na niya.
Yeah, I mean, kami rin eh. Parang ako nga, I thought na nag-start to nung quarantine eh.
Well, I think parang medyo mas natutukan natin nung quarantine. A little
ba?
bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sige. Yeah, tama.
Kind of like us then, no? Vips.
Ganun din.
Parang,
Yeah. Parang before quarantine, it was here and there. Nung quarantine na parang, uy, in fairness, consistent.
Oo.
Consistent.
Diba?
I think
In
kasi
fairness,
ano
may
eh,
time
no? Parang
tayo.
I think kami, parang that was our way to coping yung kabaliwan eh.
Yeah.
Same,
Parang
actually.
Yeah.
Mas maraming chika, mas maraming time chumika nung quarantine. But yeah. Anyway,
Nakausap.
yun nga. Oo. Parang guys, kailangan ng interaction. Human interaction.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, ayun nga, sabi ko nga earlier para tayo nasa malibag episode and this is gonna be our season finale for this season. And yeah, meron na naman tayong letter sender na babasahin natin yung letter niya. And then we're gonna be giving advice for the last time this season. So, ayan. And we're gonna have as well Jim and Saab with us to give this advice to her then. So, sobrang nag-aano ako ngayon. No? Wala ako sa sarili ko. Kakagising ko lang actually.
Wow.
Good morning sa'yo.
Good morning sa akin. But you know what? Without further ado, let's get into the letter na. So I'm gonna read it now. Okay. Hi, astrologers. I don't know if sending you a letter is the right thing to do. I am completely aware of how difficult it is for me to express and explain my feelings. Plus the fact na I can't organize my thoughts properly. Para kasi silang nag-uunahan minsan ma-release and sometimes walang gustong mauna. Anyway, I have been a follower since Twitter days pa lang and a listener since day one. So seeing you astrologers grow your podcast makes me happy. Deserve. Thank you. What I am about to say may trigger some. As for my chica, I have trouble connecting to myself. I find it easy reading people's feelings. That's what I like the most. May pleasure na hatid talaga every time na may napaparealize ako sa tao. Pero when it comes to myself, I can't seem to connect. I recently got out from a toxic relationship with an Aquarius. We lasted for 3 years. He sexually harassed me countless of times and even forced me to have sex, which also happened a lot. In the last year of our relationship, I fell out of love and kept him just to take advantage of his love language, which is act of service, until I can be independent again. In November, I broke up with him. I did not cry nor did I feel sad. It was just relief. Last month, April, I just had a sudden breakdown. Flashbacks of what he did to me started to run on my mind. I didn't even know I have those intense feelings resentment, disgust. A few hours after that breakdown, I was again lost. I started questioning myself why did I react that way? For all of my problems, big or small, this was my routine. I always fail to keep my emotions even when the worst happens. I suddenly don't know what I feel. I know what I should feel, but I feel nothing. I feel like I'm being detached to myself and I'm more connected with other people's feelings. I can collect and organize their thoughts and feelings easily, but I can't even do that to myself. Sometimes it feels like I'm hollow. I can't even admit to myself what's wrong, like I'm a stranger to me. I just feel so disconnected. I've always wanted to fix my issues, but how can I do that if I myself refuse to cooperate? Like reaching out to myself is an impossible thing to do. Despite my inner chaos, my relationship with the people around me works well for me. I have a hold on their emotions and can understand them easily. I know my effect on a person, and that allows me to have an advantage over them. I can also communicate with them properly, but of course, the farthest I can show is the surface of my thoughts and emotions. I am a Gemini sun, Scorpio moon, Leo rising, Mercury in Gemini, Venus in Aries, Mars in Sagittarius. My natal chart is dominated by air, followed by fire and water. I don't have an earth placement, and I heard it's a bad thing. So, yon. There you go.
Ooh, medyo,
Ang bigat, sandali. Ang daming
That was a
kailangan
lot.
that was a lot.
i-unpack.
Oo.
Oh.
Okay. So, nahihirapan si ateng makakonect sa sarili niya. Kasi she recently got out of a toxic relationship where she was abused. So,
Mhm. Can I
VP
go first?
Nikki...
Sorry.
sorry?
Sure, sure.
No, go,
I
Sam.
was gonna, ano ba yung process dito? You guys want to go first? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Sige, gusto bang unahin yung
You
astrology
guys
side?
can go. You can.
VP?
Yeah, sige. Because the last part
Ah.
didn't mean anything to me. So,
Sige, yeah.
unless, unless gusto nyo yung mag-invento ako. Charot. Go ahead. Sige.
Okay, si Ate Girl is a Gemini Sun, Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising, Mercury in Gemini, Venus in Aries, Mars in Sagittarius. Nagkaiba lang kami sa Venus and Mars, pero this is basically my natal chart.
Oh.
Congrats.
Congrats. Oo.
Are you the
Ayun.
same? Do you feel the same way? I mean, with your
Um,
feelings and connecting with your emotions?
Actually, yeah.
Oh my gosh, just make us
Ish.
about you. Charot. How are you feeling right now?
Okay,
Joke lang,
ganito
joke lang.
kasi yun. Charot, joke
Intervention
lang.
na pala. Intervention pa talaga.
Naging ano ko pala. Hindi, more actually yung sinasabi niya na she's good with connecting with other people. It's
Mm-mm.
because of her Gemini sun and her
And
Mercury
Gemini.
in Gemini na magaling siya mag-communicate with other people because of those placements.
Mm.
And the way she said na meron siyang grasp of other people's emotions.
That's her Scorpio
It's-
moon.
Yeah, it's her Scorpio moon na meron siyang instinctual ang tawag dito, trait na
Mm-mm.
alam niya instinctively kung paano makipag-deal with emotions or yung feelings ng other people and or like how to get them out of them without her giving out her feelings. naman.
Mm.
Kasi yun nga ang tendency ng Scorpios na parang, I want to see everything inside you but you can't see mine. Ganon.
Yes.
Oo.
I'm not gonna show you mine. Ganyan.
Saka napansin ko lang dun sa mga signs niya, Gemini, Scorpio, Leo, Aries at Sagittarius. Lahat to may tendency to be very outwardly. Like,
Mm-mm.
mas nauuna yung,
Extroverts.
mas may extroversion, mas nauuna yung tao sa paligid nila.
Kanila.
Tapos, Scorpio, Gemini, and Aries, very untrusting yung signs na yon. Like,
Yes.
it's so hard for
Yes.
them to trust other people. Yun lang, I noticed lang na parang, kaya siguro siya nahihirapan din mag-connect to herself in a way because very outward Like, I think, in a good way, she's a very selfless person, if you look at it that way.
Mhm.
But, paano na yung self, ate? Wala na natira.
Ako actually, I don't really think it's in her placements kung bakit siya nahihirapang mag-connect sa sarili niya. And I guess we're gonna get there. Pero may iba pa ba kayo masasabi muna sa astrological makeup niya?
Well, mamaya siguro dadating sa akin. Pero sige, go.
Oo. Pero I can
Actually,
agree
yeah.
with what VP said na.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Okay yung placements mo. I mean, this is powerful. So totoo lang. Like, you have a way with people, and you know how to, you know what makes them tick. Kumbaga. And that's a good thing kasi at least meron kang awareness kung paano nag-work yung mga nasa paligid mo. Pero I don't think na yung inability mo to connect to yourself is because of your placements. I think it's because of the trauma that you had, which we're gonna get into now. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Mm.
Ate, yung toxic relationship niya where she was sexually harassed many times, countless of times actually, and she was forced to have sex. I think, ano to? Ano ba? Kaya Jim and Sam, what do you think about this?
Oh, definitely, that's a very traumatic experience. And now I'm thinking, has she always been this way even before that relationship? Because maybe that's something to consider, diba? Na,
Yes.
is she only finding herself lost in her emotions and her thoughts now, or was she always like this? If it's just now, then I think we know the culprit of this.
Yeah.
Parang why she's feeling a little lost, a lot lost actually. And I'm very, first of all, ate letter sender, I'm very, very sorry that this happened to you, that you have gone through this. No one should ever go through this. And
True.
I mean, I think it's really good that you sent a letter to Tsaastrology so that, you feel heard and seen. And by doing this, I'm sure other people who are victims of sexual harassment will feel, that they're not alone, and that,
Yeah.
it can get better from here on.
True.
Tsaka parang feeling ko like starting to share these things is a good
Yeah.
step na alam mo yun. Kasi may tendency talaga yung mga victims na yun nga, they keep quiet about stuff like this kasi natatakot sila na di sila paniwalaan or mag-iba yung tingin sa kanila. Basta there are so many fears and things na nararamdaman ng mga victims ng abuse na ganito na it's really, I mean, recently nga on Twitter, it's become a conversation, harassment, sexual harassment specifically, and parang ang tawag dito, Vips, yung nagkakagulo na sa Twitter kasi yung mga people speaking about it, natatabunan yung voices ng mga victims, kumbaga, parang ganun. But sending a letter like this is a good step from, I think, into dealing with the trauma that you probably suppressed after the relationship, kumbaga.
I'm curious
How
to
long?
know yung mga placements na sinabi nyo dun sa signs niya. Kasi and this is in no way saying that powerful women cannot be victims of sexual harassment. But I am curious because you said na yung signs niya, yung placement niya, it seems like she has a lot of power. So,
Yeah.
but is there anything in there that you saw that could have been parang a reason why she thought it, parang she let it go on for that long? Is there
Mm,
anything in the signs or ano na may ganong factor na medyo kasi she stayed in the relationship for a long time, huh?
uh-uh.
Tama ba?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
3
True.
years.
3 years.
years.
I'm
Mm.
gonna guess this is her Mars and Sagittarius na kasi Sagittarius may tendency na parang let it come as it is, let's deal with it, ganyan. Parang
Oh.
laissez-faire
Mm.
na na
Uh-uh.
way of
Approach.
dealing with things.
Mm.
Mm.
So maybe it was brought about by that na
Mm.
feeling niya siguro, okay lang to, kaya ko to, ganyan.
Mm.
Malalampasan ko to, ganyan. But
Mm.
Ako
I
ang
think she
question ko,
mentioned,
sorry.
sige.
Ang question ko is like, for her sign, is there a particular, sorry, for her makeup, ano ba tawag doon?
Mm-mm.
Sorry, for her
Placements?
placements.
Are we using
Mm.
Yeah,
the right
placements.
term?
For her
Placements.
placements, is there a specific partner ba
Suited for
na
that.
na prone or yun yung napupunta yung placements niya? Parang kumbaga,
Ah,
we didn't get enough information eh. Kaya maganda yung point ni
totoo.
Sab. Like, ako,
But
I don't wanna talk about kasi about, I can't say anything about like the abuse except that's horrible. Pero siguro yun nga, hindi natin alam if she's had a history of getting into relationships
Mm.
na ganitong
Abuse.
type, 'di ba? Not
Mm.
mm,
necessarily physical or whatever, but
Toxic.
toxic. So,
toxic,
may
toxic
Mm.
ganun ba?
relationship.
Meron ba sa kahit ano sa signs yun?
May
May attraction.
tendencies.
Oh. Which one? Which
Yeah.
one?
Venus and Aries niya.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Since Aries are those people na, or Aries is that sign na tipong, alam mo yun, let's just get into this. Parang ganun.
Mabilis.
Uh-uh.
Oh.
Headstrong.
But
And
It's
let's
very,
Venus
think
is about
later.
relationships. No?
yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh,
Love and
So
okay.
pagdating niya
relationship
ngayon sa
impact.
relationships, na-apply niya yung energy ng Aries na yun na parang, you know what, think later. Let's do
Oh.
this.
All
Ganyan.
passion,
Mm.
ganon. Parang let's do
All
this.
Yes.
passion.
Okay.
Tapos
Uh-uh.
may tendency rin doon na parang, alam mo yun, hindi, siguro at first, hindi naman niya makikita. Of course. I
Mm.
mean, abusers aren't usually, I mean, aren't really, alam mo yun, binabandera nila, abuser ako, ganyan-ganyan.
Yeah.
Mga ganun. So,
Mm.
Mm-mm.
siguro at first, na parang it seemed good for her na,
Mm-mm.
okay, let's go. And then, hindi naman masyadong naisip or hindi niya na masyadong tinignan kung may red flags pa,
Mm-hmm.
ganyan. Or like
Mm.
little red flags prior to the relationship. So yeah, may tendency though na might get into sort of relationships like that, or like people could take advantage of that
Oh,
na
Mm.
si ate ganito na sugod kagad.
Oo.
Ganyan.
Mm.
Oh.
Ganon. So
But
yeah, I guess
but
there.
I think kahit na let's say sige Venus in Aries has a tendency like that, but regardless of placements, some people din talaga are alam mo yun, mabilis tumalon when it comes to relationships. And I think one thing that we can learn then, or one thing that we can say as a piece of advice to other people, as somebody na tumalon na rin bigla sa mga relationship, tapos cut to 5 months later, wala na siya. Ganun. um,
Oh.
I think my piece of advice would be, before you put your entire self into it, before you invest in it, it's never. I think nasabi ko na rin to before. It's not a bad idea to really be sure and be full for yourself muna before you go outward and love somebody else. Kasi
Mm-mm.
parang that gives you then that security. That's your safety net na
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
even when all of the love you pour out runs out, you still have enough
meron
for
ka pa.
yourself. Oo.
Mm-mm.
And alam mo yun, parang we can't always say naman na parang super okay na ako, so kaya ko mag-invest sa relationship na to. You never know what's gonna happen in the next few weeks or days or whatever. But siguro yun na yung magandang foundation mo is when you know you have enough for yourself, when you know that you're full of love na din for yourself, na no matter what happens, you will always, alam mo yun, kahit mawala lahat sa'yo, always have you and that love. And that's the best safety net, I guess, for anyone then to get into a relationship.
Oh, I love that. I completely agree. I completely agree. And if I can add on to that, I think it's important to Naglagay ka ba ng essential oils, Jay? Nangyari? Nag-aano kami, nag-emotional
May,
talk kami dito, di ba? Ba yan? Sakit ulo? Charot.
nahilo ako sa,
Sorry.
nahilo kasi ako dun sa flash. Sorry.
Okay, anyway, going back. I'm so sorry for that.
I was being as subtle as possible
So
lang
sorry,
eh.
na-distract ako. Okay. Anyway, adding on to that, gusto ko kasi yung point mo na parang kailangan love mo yung self mo. And pero baka kasi ma-misconstrue na ibang tao na parang kailangan pag-isipan mo. I don't think what you're trying to say is kailangan yung next na is like for life na to. Like I don't think that's what you were trying to say, right? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
important is you love yourself and then you explore. Pero by loving yourself like completely, then you will know when to stop and like when to call it like, okay, that's too much because that's not good for
Yeah.
me and I'm done.
Mm.
Diba?
Parang siyang parang limitation siya sa
Mm.
exploration mo, kumbaga. Na parang hindi ka basta-basta, alam mo
Yes.
namang hindi na siya maganda for
Mm.
you, pero tutuloy ka pa rin. So, ganun.
Mm.
Parang yung
Mm.
self-love talaga helps in uh, limiting, sort of. Parang
Yes.
ganun.
Boundaries.
Yeah, and I think
Boundaries,
Yeah.
ayan.
I think
Recognize your boundaries.
Yes.
si Sab kasi has always preached that, 'di ba? Parang and ano, parang and even to our friends, that's what we always say, parang especially friends who stay in toxic relationships because
Yeah.
they're afraid of doing it all over again.
Oh, parang
'Di ba?
sayang naman
Parang
eh. Parang ang
Mm.
tagal
or
na.
or
Yeah.
or even, I think that's why inis na inis ako sa the culture of dating here in the Philippines. I mean, I think it got better na, pero parang how it's frowned upon to date, to keep dating. Like,
Oo nga.
parang it's a bad
Especially
thing to
for
have had,
girls.
Yeah.
yeah, especially for girls
Sucks.
to have had
Oo.
lots of boyfriends. Kasi honestly, if like right now, if because I'm more mature, pero I mean, syempre, when I was in high school and in college, the notion was parang look for a girl who hasn't dated that much. Parang ganun, di ba? So anyway, pero now you realize na actually, wouldn't you want someone who's actually had different life experiences and has learned a lot
About herself
about
through these
herself
relationships.
and yeah,
Correct.
and how
Yeah.
to handle relationships.
Mm.
Yung second point ko lang is yeah, I mean, I agree rin with this whole ano yung tawag
Loving
mo?
yourself. Kung ayaw mo sa akin.
Ne,
Ay,
ne, 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 yung ano yung
kung ayaw mo sa
ano yung parang
Dot,
jug
dot.
of life? Anyway, ito.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah. So,
Ah,
Yes.
Goblet of fire.
pasa mo na yung jug of life. Hindi ka pwede magmahal kung wala kang jug of life.
The jug of life.
Hashtag the jug of life.
Hindi lang
Pero
basta
yung
cup.
ako gusto ko lang rin i-share.
Ang grade school lang jug. Coleman ba yan?
Oo, yung may...
pang
May
Bible,
spout. Wag mo lalagay yung bibig mo sa spout ko, ha?
pang Bible naman yung jug, hindi yun.
Sorry.
Anyway, I guess like parang I never really understood that concept until I became a parent. Because growing up, I would say na I only thought about myself. Diba? And like, I only cared about what made me happy, ganyan. Tapos parang nagka-realization nga kami ni Sab na
Did you care about me
ay,
as your
syempre.
partner?
I mean, hindi. Kaya nga, before we were
Yeah.
married and before we had our life, and then suddenly you become, yun nga, I suddenly became Sab's husband. I suddenly became the two Pancho and Vito's father. And I was giving everything to them. And then na-realize nga namin na parang nung nagka-moment na shit, hindi na pala ako okay. Like parang I had like and actually, like even dealing with grief,
Yeah.
Um, parang in that in that whole period, I didn't even set aside time to grieve. Parang ganun. It was like more than a year. Eh. Tas
Yeah, you
parang,
just kept making sure I was okay.
or the boys were okay. So anyway, the reason why sinishare ko lang yun is because naniwala talaga ako yun. Naniwala talaga ako dun eh. And I hope to the letter sender and to the people listening, even if you're not a parent, siguro ang point ko lang is, um, kumbaga, if you can't find the motivation to be better because you feel like you can't share it with someone or
Mm.
whatever,
Mm.
um just keep thinking na you have to keep filling up that jug, the jug
that
of life.
that
The jug
tumbler.
of
Kasi
life.
kasi that there will come a time na i-empty yan eh. 'Di ba? Parang
True.
yung yung nangyari sa amin, we weren't expecting that, and then suddenly I was completely empty for myself. So, yun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then yeah, you really have to give time to yourself na mapuno mo yung sarili mo, yung jug of life mo.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Para when you give it out, you have enough for yourself at least, diba? So,
Yes.
to go
I
on.
hope I hope si Ate Letter Sender will keep that in mind for
Yeah.
her next relationships if she chooses to have one. But I do want to
Mm-mm.
point out parang yung nag-stick out sa akin when you were reading out her letter was her line about something na parang I know what I should feel or something. Parang I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Mm.
that was a little concerning, not a lot, but parang for me, I think we have to unpack that. Kasi parang,
Mm.
Yes.
bakit mo pinapangunahan kung ano dapat yung ma-feel mo? Kasi they're feelings. You should feel them. Allow yourself to feel them. You feel it. Just feel it. Don't stop yourself. Alam mo, nakakatawa nga eh. Kasi being parents, natuto rin kami nito na kung wari, si Vito or si Pancho iyak. Di ba usually pag bata, nung unang panahon, I mean, yung mga panahon, nung mga bata tayo, di ba, laging parang, oo, tama na, shh, shh, tama na, wala na, wala na,
Uh,
wala na, wala na. Oh,
yeah.
sinong ano sa'yo? Oh, masama yung table, paluin yung table, mga ganyan. Parang,
Mm-mm.
Mm.
it's, it's always like telling us to stop, stop, stop. Wag,
Stop
hindi ka dapat umiyak.
crying. Yeah.
Wag, wag.
Yeah.
Tama na yan. Mali yan. Wag kang umiyak. But then, we learned nga na let them cry kasi syempre, kung ano nauntog, pati siya pwede umiyak, eh, nasaktan siya eh. So, paiyakin mo
True.
siya.
Yes.
Syempre, you're
Oo.
there to help them through it na parang, oh, what happened, di ba? Talk it through like a therapist to your children, di ba? Na,
Yes.
what happened? Okay, I know you're upset. Let allow them to feel it. And I think tayo, not all of us, but I think most of us, we were brought up to think that what we're feeling is not correct, that it's not
It's not
valid.
good.
No, you're not
Mm.
supposed to be sad. You're not supposed. So don't even start. Wag kang umiyak. Ops, masama yan. And it's just let yourself feel. It's normal. Let it. It's a process. Like with Jim, you had to grieve because you can't
Mm-mm.
move forward. You can't just suppress that. So obviously, what happened to Ate Letter Sender was a very, very traumatic thing. It kept happening for three
Yes.
years. Um, it wouldn't stop. It was what do you call it? A circle and
A,
what do I
a
A
call it?
cycle.
cycle.
A
A
cycle.
cycle. Yeah.
Thank you
A
so
cycle.
much.
The
Yeah.
cycle of life.
The cycle of jug.
The cycle of jug. Labo-labo na.
It was a cycle. So, yun, parang dapat talaga i-process mo yan para that's why you get lost eh. Kasi you're suppressing things and you're not allowing yourself to feel.
Mm.
You're stuck. You're stuck. You can't move forward. Feel it, and it's good that you're talking. I mean, sending a letter, writing about it at least. And then, maybe this is the small step you're taking and then it'll progress.
Yeah. Parang
Yeah.
ano nga eh, I think she's starting to see the beginnings of what others call a shadow working. Like yung digging deep inside you for all your
Mm.
traumas, your fears, yung mga sinuppress mo na emotions, na feelings. And like
Oh.
not
What is it
really
called?
trying
Hello, John.
shadow work.
Shadow work.
Mm-mm. May ano lang, pero basically it's therapy for yourself. So, ayun nga
Oh.
eh, na hindi naman exactly to fix those
Mm.
feelings or those trauma, those things, but to at least be aware of them and acknowledge their
Identify.
presence,
Yes.
Mm-mm.
and na-identify mo siya na alam mo may ganun ka and you're aware. So, this is like a good start na you're trying to, kumbaga parang kinocompose mo na yung thoughts mo kasi sabi mo kanina na minsan hindi mo maayos yung thoughts mo, ganyan, dahil sa mga nangyari. Pero yeah, it's a good thing na you're starting now to look into this and talk about it. Yun nga. It's important kasi na maano mo siya, na ma-acknowledge mo na yes, I suppressed feelings from this experience in my life. And maybe ito yung root cause kung bakit ako ganito, ganyan. So basically, ganun yung yung root work, yung shadow work, na hinahanap mo yung root cause nung why are you acting the way you are now, kumbaga. So hanapin mo kung saan siya nanggagaling. So yeah, it's a good start na you talk about it, you start talking about it, you process it na parang ganun, na baka ito yung trauma ko, na baka hindi ko lang siya pinansin after the whole thing kasi gusto ko na siyang kalimutan. Ganyan. So, nagre-resurface siya ngayon or nagma-manifest siya in different ways in your life na ganito ako ngayon mag-react sa ganitong bagay. Ganyan. So, bakit? Ganon.
Yes. If I can give a concrete step for her, I think when she says na yung feelings niya hindi niya parang nag-uunahan tas hindi parang wala namang
Gusto
nauuna.
mauna.
So I think what helped me with it's like ako kasi I'm a diagnosed, meron akong ADHD. So my therapist tells me when I have a lot of things going on in my brain, you really have to, kaya sobrang, our brain only can handle so much. So writing things down, it may seem trivial, it may sound like, oh, okay, well, duh, but you never really get around to doing it. Actually writing it down, everything you're feeling, write it down, because matatanggal yan sa head mo and you put it on paper kasi mafe-free yung space sa head mo. So, at least may konting peace ka mafe-feel. And then when you write it down, then you start to process it na parang, do I really feel this way? Or did someone tell me that I should feel this way? Even like someone from college or high school, or one of my titas said that I should feel this way about myself. Like you process it individually. You think about all the things na made you feel this way or made you think this way about yourself. So, yeah, that's an exercise that you can do.
That's nice.
Yeah, actually, naalala ko yun, I had this like summer school thing ng acting workshop and whatever, and parang we were told to write down in one line how do I feel today or what do I feel today, and then at the end of the day, look back at it and ask yourself, is that what I'm feeling pa rin after you processed like a lot of different things? And parang it kind of helped me nga kasi parang if I woke up in a bad mood, malalabas ko siya dun. And then at the end of the day, I look back at it and say na parang, why was I in a bad mood again? I don't remember. And parang dun ko na-realize na process ko pala kasi siya throughout that day. It could be a small thing, but it really helps a lot eh.
True nga, no, na parang,
Sorry.
sorry, go, Jim.
Okay,
Digital life.
Oo nga eh. Well, ako yung
The lag of life.
yung
No, Jim, sorry.
yung isa namang exercise na ma-share ko, it's called it's from a book called The Writer's Way, I think, or something like that. Basta the exercise is you do a brain dump.
Yeah, brain dump.
Na parang
I'm a fan of brain dump.
you write for parang you write for 10 minutes straight. 10 minutes straight na without any
Editing.
walang editing involved. As in, first thing comes to your head, like I'm writing right now and it's pretty long, gusto ko na matapos to. You just parang pretty much release everything in your brain, and then dun mo makikita, and then kaya ako i-mimix ko yun dun sa, then you review it at the end of the day.
Tapos dun ka magsha-shadow work.
Pwede.
At the end of the day, yung shadow work gumana na, punong-puno na yung jug of life mo.
Yung jug of
Oo.
life. We go back there. Yeah.
Meron na tayong sariling na self-therapy routine thing na
This
nabuo.
is self-help.
By the way, this episode is sponsored by Coleman. Charot. Charot.
Naisip ko yung cooler na Coleman.
Oo.
Malaking cooler.
Pang-outing, mga ganyan. Or
Tapos
what
may
they
bag-
called before as excursions.
excursion.
Or excursion.
Oo.
But yeah.
Ayun.
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 So,
May final advice siguro for ate girl.
sige, bago ko mag-final advice do, nag-pop yung image sa utak ko, yung Coleman na jug. Tapos may inspirational messages na ngayon. Ganun. Paikot.
Live, laugh,
Pero every
love,
time, oo, di ba?
Live,
It's the jug of
laugh,
life
love.
edition.
Mine used to be my name kasi dadalhin ko siya sa field trip.
Ah.
Diba?
Oo.
So, baka
Kasi mga
mawala.
Oo. Pero ngayon, hindi na pangalan mo yung nakasulat doon. Get in touch with how you feel today. Ganun.
Mga ganun. Inspirational na.
Write
Inspirational
it down.
Coleman.
Oo.
Coleman, this is a free idea. Get on it. But yeah. Sige, final advice kay ate girl. So we could wrap this up.
Sige, ako I'll start na kasi feeling ko short lang naman yung final advice ko, no. I think yun nga, take it one step at a time talaga. It starts with recognizing how you feel and what you were in. And now na parang sinusulat mo siya, you're telling other people about it, you're asking for advice with what happened. I think that's a good first step. And you don't have to force yourself to recover agad-agad. Eh. Diba? All of us, we should be able to, really feel what we're supposed to feel and have enough time to process that. So by taking it one step at a time, you'll just realize at the end of the day or at the end of that year na parang, oh, I've gone so far na pala. Na, diba, ang dami ko na na-process, ang dami ko na nagawa. And that version of yourself is so much better than the one from before. Kasi, diba, little steps may mean nothing for now, but when you compound them together, bigla na lang, ay, ang dami ko na nagawa. So, ayun, look at it at the small bits and you'll be fine. Yan. Yun lang naman from me.
Ikaw, Nikki.
Ako naman, apart from that, valid naman yun na just process it and kusa na lang din siyang mawawala. But in the event na hirap ka pa din and you're still struggling with it, it's also okay to seek help, professional help. It never hurts kasi minsan we also need someone else's help to process the feelings, and yung paglabas mo lang or yung pag-express mo lang ng vulnerability mo about it is already a start. And if ever it's too overwhelming, it's okay to seek help. Meron naman tayo mga dyan, mental health professionals that can help you with it. Yun.
Right. Sa akin, it's a good way that you're starting to acknowledge the things that happen to you and the things that you're feeling. Okay lang yan. These feelings are valid. You don't have to suppress them. They're not wrong. You're not wrong for feeling those. Akin lang, I mean, you could start dealing with those. And always remember, you're a Gemini, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Leo, rising. It's a powerful combination. So hang on to that. Make that your parang inspiration, or like a thought in your mind na I'm this powerful and I won't let myself be limited by stuff na nangyari sa akin. So, diba? Yun lang for me.
Yes.
Jim and Saab.
Yeah.
Well, I super agree with Nikki. I think professional help is really, the way to go. You can talk to your friends, you can send a letter to a podcast, pero professional help really makes a big difference. And we are believers of that. Jim and I both see a therapist and it's a continuous process. We're always trying to process things, and it's really literally a process. So if you do have access to that, maybe astrology, you can put a link on the description box of this episode
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Sure.
where they can find help. um yeah, but also to at the letter sender, um I really really hope that you can allow yourself, parang just allow yourself, let yourself be, and just let it flow. I mean, these feelings are what make you human, and
Mm-mm.
it's so good feel, because otherwise we would be dead. And it's 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 a blessing to be alive, and the thought that I am a powerful Gemini, I think that's the thing that's going to make you move forward. It's your thoughts that will create your feelings, and your feelings will create your actions, and your actions will create your results. And by feeling empowered, I think you will know what the next action is to take.
Right.
Iboto
Ang
si
ganda
Sab.
nun.
Yes, thank you so much. Wake up,
Ibo-
Jimmy Sab.
Iboto si Sab sa Senado.
Yes, by the way, I'm
2022. Char.
I'm no career as a life coach. Checka.
I was just gonna say what you said. So
Oh,
I
okay.
completely agree.
Oh, we are one.
Mm.
Yes.
Sana all. Char. So yeah, anything else, Peeps?
Uh, Yun lang naman. And to Jim and Sab then, if you want to invite our listeners then to anything, kung may mga pakulo ba kayong mangyayari anytime soon na they should watch out for. Ganyan.
Oh, when is this coming out?
Next week, Tuesday next week.
Tuesday
Okay,
next week.
perfect. Well, speaking of jug of life, meron kaming ongoing.
Oo nga.
Pero hindi siya Coleman, tingin canteen siya. Meron kami mga pag-giveaway. Meron kami series of giveaways of Wake Up with Jim and Sab
Yeah.
merch. It's a collab with Clean Canteen. So
Yeah,
follow
so
our podcast.
follow us on Instagram at Wake Up with Jim and Sab
Yes, and listen to our podcast, Wake Up with Jim and Sab,
on
exclusively on
Spotify.
Spotify. And we hope you guys can. I mean, if you guys listen to Tsaastrology, I feel like you would be totally, parang you are right up our alley. So
Yes.
Yes.
And so,
Thanks,
guys,
guys.
Thank you.
head on over to Wake Up with Jim and Sab exclusively on Spotify, and you could get a chance to win prizes. The jugs of
Yeah.
life,
The jugs of life.
No, the canteens
mini
of life.
jugs, canteens of life. Yes, tayo naman, Peeps.
Well, yeah, if you, to all of those watching and listening, if you enjoyed this episode, you can listen to all of our other episodes. The entire 6th season of Tsaastrology is already up on Spotify and other major podcast platforms. You can also watch the video version of this coming out every Friday on our YouTube channel naman. And of course, yeah, don't forget, kung gusto nyo mag-react, gusto nyo advice din or whatever, you can message us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tsaastrology. Yon. So, this is the end of our 6th season. Thank you again, Jim and Sab, for
Yay!
gracing our side of the street. And
We are
So-
so honored.
we are then super to have you guys here. And ayan, syempre, i-end natin to in the best way possible. So, the way we say goodbye dito sa Astrology is parang our intro. So, ako ang inyong astrologer na Sagittarius, na si Jim or si Sab, na nagsasabing, and then whatever one-liner you wish to use as a parang fleeting message, ganyan. Oo. Na parang may sign off. Tapos,
Grabe naman yung pressure, Diyos ko. On the spot na sign off. Ano ulit yung line?
oo.
Ako ang iyong astrologer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sa astrologer na
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius na si Sab.
Sorry,
Ganyan.
Mrs. Sab.
Mm.
Na
Sige,
nagsasabing, ganyan.
Oo. To give you
Actually,
enough
pwede siyang
time.
lyrics.
Oo.
Hindi ko na lang yung sobrang
ano,
sobrang obscure na 90s intro na sinabi ko kanina. So,
sige.
yun na lang din.
Oo. Ganyan. But sige, to give you enough time to think, mauna na ako and then Nikki
Okay.
and then Bern tapos you two. Okay, so ayun. Sa ating mga ka-team, maraming salamat ulit sa pakikinig. This has been your astrologer na Virgo na si VP na nagsasabing, always be the strong woman that you are. Sabihin mo nga, I see it, I want it, I got it, I flaunt it. Diba?
Ariana.
Ariana.
I love Ariana Grande. Charot.
Go,
Ako
Nikki.
naman. Okay. And this has been your Tsaastrologer na Scorpio na si Nikki nagsasabing, progress is not always linear, but it's never circular.
I love it.
And
Love
fair.
that.
Siya, na-stress ako kasi walang kwenta yung akin. So,
Ano pa yung sa akin? Tapos na wala ng bawian.
and this has been your astrologer, Gemini, na si Berna nagsasabi, I'm back again for the Renegade Master.
LSS ka dun, no? Bago ka matulog.
Oo, kaninang umaga pa yun eh. Hindi ko alam bakit.
So, oh my God, nakakatawa kasi puro kayo song lyrics and I don't know why this popped into my head, pero I am your astrologer na Sagittarius na si Saab na nagsasabing, life is a pleasure with you by my side, our hands grip together. Ano yung sunod doon?
Life is a
Our
pleasure with you by
hands
my
grip
side.
together, Trevor.
Life is a pleasure with you.
Hindi ko alam kung magkita sa isip ko.
As
Ako
naman mas- Ay,
Napaka too early
Very
2000s
malate.
Boracay.
Oo.
Oo.
Tsaka malate. Oh my God. Tia Marias. But anyway.
Ano pangalan? Head candy.
Head candy. Oo.
Yeah.
This has been your astrologer na Sagittarius, Jim.
Na nagsasabi.
Na nagsasabi, we found love in Via Mare.
daming sponsor ng episode na siya.
In fairness, ha?
Baka naman.
Baka naman, Tia Mar.
Manifest.
Ayan, thank you so
Okay,
much,
thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Okay, bye guys.
If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up below and subscribe to our channel.
If you want to check out other highlights and other podcasts within the Bunk Collective, just check out the Bunk Collective YouTube channel.
And check out more videos if you click here, here, and here. And don't forget to support us at patreon.com/thebunkph.